On December 23, 2015, a YouTube user posted an eye-opening video of a ship crashing against 20-meter waves. The post soon went viral, and the user clarified that the ship in the footage was the Royal New Zealand Navy's Otago offshore patrol vessel, a ship with a long and problematic career even before her commission. Faulty and lacking the ability to penetrate the most reclusive corners of the South Pole, Otago was certainly not a favorite. Still, she eventually gained notoriety after she was seen facing the imposing tide of the Southern Ocean and making her best to stay afloat. Minor imperfections. The design of the Royal New Zealand Navy's Protector-class offshore patrol vessel, Otago, was based on an Irish Naval Service ship of similar characteristics. However, its development was contentious. The Navy argued for a limited combat suite comprising a 57 to 76mm light frigate gun and associated fire control, radar, and electronic warfare systems to conduct effective training and patrol work. On the other hand, the government preferred to use the space and resources available to enhance the ice-strengthening features and purchase extra patrol vessels later. Ultimately, the Navy deemed it unnecessary to add such protection, as the vessels would patrol the Southern Ocean and not the Ross Sea. In fact, they claimed the extra weight and complexity would stress and even shorten the lifespan of the hulls by a decade. Named in honor of the province of Otago, and associated with the city of Dunedin, HMNZS Otago, the first of her class, was launched in 2006. However, her commission was delayed for another 4 years. It eventually became evident that the ship did not meet all contract specifications and exceeded her specified displacement. Then, after the builders claimed in 2010 that her weight would not stop her from patrolling in the Antarctic Ocean, the ship was accepted into the Navy. Still, the arrival at her home port in Port Chalmers was further delayed due to issues with her engines. Regardless, the patrol vessel started her service life and struggled during her first months of actual missions, suffering several technical difficulties. Although lacking in her capability to operate in heavier levels of ice coverage, she nonetheless conducted lengthy missions in the Antarctic region. Head on. Otago's shortcomings have led to the cancellation of at least one planned operation. After Lieutenant Commander Robert McCaw assumed command in September of 2012, a monitoring mission of fisheries in the Southern Ocean was cancelled due to the vessel's utter inability to operate in that level of ice cover. Still, the commander defended his ship, quote, "Up until Christmas, we were in the Southern Ocean patrolling and boarding fishing boats. We hailed 10 and boarded 8 fishing vessels in the Southern Ocean within the ice, including 1 New Zealand vessel. During the following year, the patrol did not detect any illegal fishing boats in the surroundings of New Zealand, which, in the words of McCaw, was, quote, a great result." Otherwise, Otago has served on many patrols, from fisheries protection to transportation of scientific staff and search and rescue operations. Still, the fragile vessel has confronted nature head-on several times for the sake of her personnel. Crashing into the waves. On December 23, 2015, Alex Croucher posted a video on YouTube titled Southern Ocean Storm. In the description, he clarified that the vessel was HMNZS Otago of the Royal New Zealand Navy, and she was sailing through an impressive storm with 20-meter swells and winds of up to 80 kilometers per hour. The terrifying video caught the eye of millions of viewers, showing the feeble 279-foot patrol boat facing a wave over 65 feet high. Moreover, Otago has a baseline speed of 25 miles per hour, so the tiny vessel had no choice but to smash through the waves while trapped in the path of the colossal tides. As the rain poured all around, the boat violently crashed into the belly of the wave, and the water engulfed her. Off camera, the crew laughed in astonishment, and the small ship resurfaced just to face another huge wave. In fact, Otago is no stranger to some of the most brutal storms on the planet. Torrents in the Southern Ocean can stretch across millions of square miles, and while the expected average is 1 gale per week, unpredictable weather renders it a treacherous ocean to sail. In addition, the ocean's unique geography creates persistent winds that constantly circulate around Antarctica. Without question, they are among the strongest on Earth. A treacherous ocean. The Antarctic, or Southern Ocean, covers roughly 1/16 of the Earth's total ocean area. Made up of several portions of the world's oceans, it surrounds the South Pole below 60 degrees south. In addition, it covers roughly 8.5 million square miles and holds over 17 million cubic miles of salt water, with its average depth reaching nearly 11,000 feet and over 24,000 at its maximum depth southeast of the island of South Georgia in the South Sandwich Trench. Notably, the water body is not broken by any continental landmass. Still, it is the flow of currents that makes the Southern Ocean so complex. The water, cooled by the frigid air, outgoing radiation, and katabatic winds off Antarctica, sinks and follows a northward course along the bottom while it is replaced by the warmer currents of the Indian, Pacific, and Atlantic Oceans. The Antarctic convergence is where equal volumes of water meet, and the conditions there favor the development of its characteristic sea flora and fauna. In addition, the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, or ACC, has a complicated motion, irregular in width and course. Also called west wind drift because of its wind-driven surface oceanic current encircling Antarctica from west to east. The tides are affected by adjacent landmasses, submarine topography, and prevailing winds, not to mention the continuous exchange with other water masses at all depths, making the Antarctic Ocean a highly complex ocean to navigate. Unfounded. According to the Royal New Zealand Navy's official website, the nation's fleet conducts regular monitoring missions around Antarctica, given that a vast majority of experts travel through trade routes in the surroundings. Likewise, the Navy carries out border and fisheries patrols, as well as search and rescue missions. Plus, the vessels support defense and conservation agencies in the region. Otago was reportedly on one of such missions when it came upon the sheer force of nature. Thankfully, though, the vessel and the crew emerged unscathed. While there were doubts that Otago could carry out her duties properly, her commanding officer defended her from the moment he assumed command. Proud of both his ship and crew, McCaw stated, quote, "In 6 months, Otago has traveled 15,000 nautical miles, the equivalent of 7 circumnavigations of New Zealand. We've conducted surveillance of around 12 million square kilometers of water, all part of New Zealand's maritime responsibility." In truth, the humble patrol ship has participated in a wide variety of operations, from supporting the Department of Conservation to embarking on special forces for onboard training in a single week. But for McCaw, the highlight was making it to Antarctic waters. Quote, "It was a challenge, dealing with the sea and weather conditions. However, it was really rewarding to interact with the vessels operating in our region." And as the commander stated, doubts about the Otago's ability to patrol the Southern Ocean are clearly unfounded. Thank you for watching my video. Don't hesitate to check out all our Dark Documentaries channels for many more epic stories from the lands, seas, and skies of the world. And make sure to hit the like button and click on the bell icon to be notified of our newest content. Stay tuned.